Hey everybody, 4 years ago we spied a review of this Glenfiddich 18 Small Batch Reserve, 43% ABV. On this re-review, we're trying to see if it's the Banana Fosters we remembered. Let's find out.
What's up, guys?
Hey guys, it's Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. And let me tell you, it's probably going to be this one. If you listen to this right now, because this was a first number 4.
This was review 4.
Review number 4 for us back in 2016.
So
there was some disagreement about the number that this was.
It's been so long we had to look it up.
Mark was pretty sure that we did the 15-year Solera first, and we did, but we didn't review it.
We just drank a couple bottles.
We just drank it.
So this was number 4, and we haven't really. I mean, we've had it occasionally over the years, but it's been a while, and so we're trying to go back to some of these bottles that we talk about on a regular, and just give our opinion and re-review these bottles.
What is it?
Oh, it's the Glenfiddich 18-year Small Batch Reserve.
Right, I don't think we said it.
No, we didn't either.
43% ABV. And it is a small batch, so as Andrew and I were trying to squint and read the number on the bottom there, it does have a cask number or batch number.
It's a batch, yeah.
On the bottom.
8152 is from this batch.
And so when they're saying it's a small batch, they're serious. There's a limited quantity in each batch.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the deal on these, Drew? Drew's supposed to.
Oh, well, I can tell you this much. It was really my original love of Scotch. One of the originals. I loved this bottle back in the day.
Do you remember one of your notes that you loved about it?
I do. Banana.
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 It was the first one that we got some like really fruity notes out of.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. This one is aged in Oloroso and bourbon casks. Hand selected just 150 exceptional casks. And then they're married together in barrels, makes them married, and then bottled up.
For another 3 months.
Yeah. So,
but because it's a batch, and there might be other batches out there, there's still a level of consistency that they're shooting for. Let's say that. So I don't expect major changes between the batch numbers, but there'll probably be some slight differences.
Yeah.
And this is part of the core range. That's why it
is.
That's why it's been 4 years since, and it's still here today. And they've got they've got the 14, they've got the 15, they've got a plethora of bottles.
They do have a ton of bottles if you go to their website, and we're going to get into that here soon. But
I'm excited about this one though because we haven't had it for a while. The bottle itself has a little bit more of a, I would call it, I don't know. It's a nicer looking bottle.
Well,
They've got the wood top. It's still paper box, but it just looks a little high classy.
It's the Glenfiddich design too,
Right,
kind of that
triangle
thing. So all their bottles are like that.
What's our price on this thing?
I think it's around 100, maybe just over 100.
Okay.
So 100 plus ish.
depending on where you're at, we saw it anywhere from 99 to 109 or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Which actually seems pretty reasonable, honestly, for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
It seems okay.
Now, that price might
It's
be a little
probably
bit
higher
different
than that,
today because of what's going on in the world and because of these taxation tariffs, whatever. Don't even get me started on them.
I'm getting
but-
good oak on the nose.
Are you?
That's really nice.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I don't know about all that. It does
No.
smell sweet, though.
Yeah, sweet and...
A little bit of marmalade.
Yeah, I get a little bit of that.
Yeah, because I initially thought raisins, but it's really sweeter than raisins.
That could have been the banana smell I had back then.
Marmalade?
My initial nose was really light, but now it's getting thicker with that fruity marmalade-ish.
You said it's 43, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got a little bit of an alcohol nose, but not much.
That first palate, man, it's all tropical.
So
I'm sure that it's chill filtered
That was
because
my
it's
question.
43%.
Yeah.
But I was looking to see if there was anything on there about coloring, and it doesn't say anything, so I have to assume that there's, maybe some color in there to. It's small batch, so I'm guessing that they've got to make it look at least kind of consistent. Would be my guess. So.
Oh man,
sure.
that's delicious.
So we're starting with 150 casks. So you've got a pretty wide range to choose from. It's all been in barrels for 18 years. They don't particularly mention if it's sherry or bourbon or
It's
whatever.
Oloroso.
All Oloroso?
Yeah,
No,
Oloroso and
Oloroso
bourbon.
and ex-bourbon.
Ex-bourbon and
That's the two.
Oloroso.
So it's got lots of different varieties.
Oh, yeah. There's a...
Yeah, there may be some color in there.
Yeah. Possibly.
It's a little spicier than I thought it would be. Did you guys taste it yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I've got like tropical fruit on the initial palate. I've got plums and like a little bit of maybe clove on the fish. Maybe that's the spice I'm getting.
I love doing these re-reviews, especially the ones that we've done that we haven't done in a long time.
Yeah.
Because I have a picture in my head of what this whiskey is. And most of the time, the picture is the standout things for me. Like
You don't forget it. Yeah,
this one I always think of bananas because that was the first time that, and for me it's more like a bananas Foster. It's like cooked bananas and brown sugar and like cinnamon and baking spices. But I always equate it with bananas, and then you go back and you take a sip after 3 or 4 years and you're like, oh, well, that's there, but all this other stuff is there too. It's just kind of interesting to get into it.
And our palates have definitely
Oh,
changed.
absolutely. I almost got a little bit of a pumpkin spice on the nose, but not on the palate.
It is on the nose a little bit now. You mentioned it.
I'm getting a little.
like this, like when you open it up, that
Yeah.
little seed part. Yep.
But it's actually a little more spicier than I.
It is.
So
It
it makes
is.
me wonder the Oloroso sherry casks that it came from, if that's European.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
Well, and I would say for 43%, it's a little more bold and in your face
Yeah.
than I would have anticipated
Yeah.
as well, which is kind of nice, honestly.
Twinkie.
I can see why we liked it.
See, I'm getting black tea and dark chocolate, which I'm finding that I'm seeing that more and more in whiskeys now. When I go through reviews, I'm like, I'm getting dark chocolate, I'm getting black tea. Those are my palate is really dialing into those flavors.
I'm getting more of a caramelized banana now than I did before. It's not as banana-y flavoring, but you can tell it's like it's a sweet caramel version of a banana.
Yep. Bananas Foster.
Yeah, this is definitely not
And
a
there's
sweet.
your definition.
I'm sorry, Mr. Obvious. What were you saying?
Oh,
Talk to me more about cooked bananas.
yeah, dark caramel.
The more I kind of swish it around in my mouth, though, the more that banana comes out. Like it's there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. And I got sponge cake now too on the palate that I didn't have. I don't remember having before, but it's also been 4 years. So.
See, I'm not getting sponge cake. No, I don't think I'm getting bananas either.
It's really approachable.
I'm getting a deeper, darker, like more oxidized flavor than I remember.
Okay. Well, the water should be interesting to see what this thing does at 43.
I'm
Oh,
very
yeah, that's
curious
true.
to hear on our Thursday show and in the comments from people who have had a few of these small batches and maybe put them head to head.
different bottling.
Yeah, like how much variation is there between batches? Because maybe I'm remembering it being more banana forward, I guess is the way to describe it, because that batch was.
Could have been, absolutely could have been.
Whereas this one is a little bit more spicy, and you get the banana, but it's more like it's in the background a little bit more.
So let's go on record and just say that we have to tell on ourselves. We were not smart. We were definitely dummies when we did that review because we didn't mention a batch number. I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, I'm
we
sure.
didn't
No, we
notice
weren't
anything
even
like
assigning
that.
seats back then. I thought that was in your seat.
Right? We didn't know a damn thing about batches, so I'm sure we didn't mention it. And actually, we made a mistake like that on our very first review because it was a Talisker Distiller's edition, and we didn't call out what edition it was.
I'm sure that our review was riveting.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sure it was.
Stone cold, boring,
Hi.
on a 10-year-old camcorder.
Yep.
Wow, the water
I don't think it hurt it.
No.
more oak than I had in need.
It's more oak forward, but they tamed down the spices a little bit. So honestly, if you were making a really nice cocktail, like a really nice Rob Roy or something, this would make an interesting drink.
It's definitely got the qualities that you want in it.
There's so much depth to this. It would just blow through
Bold.
any mixer you put in it.
Yeah, it's
any
bold.
bitters and sweetness and stuff.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying to go dump a bunch of club soda on your 18-year-old Scotch. I mean, you can if you want, but this would hold up to a lot of stuff.
I
Man,
agree. What do you think?
I just think it's a solid glass. I mean, it's really approachable. It's enjoyable. It's got some nice flavors and some nice nose. I think I like it a little bit better with water, believe it or not, at 43%.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think it's the neat. The late finish left my mouth very dry, very
Yes,
cloying.
mine too.
And so I think with those few drops of water, it doesn't leave me with that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not as bitter, not as spicy, or not as, I guess, alcohol burn, peppery on the finish.
Interesting. I think it's more bitter for me.
Really?
With water.
Huh.
It brought out the. I want to try it with a little more because I don't think I dialed it in quite right. But
put-
mine was a little bitter and a little oaky.
Yeah. I put a little. I didn't put that much on there, and I saw you pour yours. I'm like, yeah, I put a little bit more in there. I feel like I may have put a little too much water,
Oh,
but
there it
I'm not
is.
sure.
I'm good with that
I
now.
got that fruitiness.
All right.
Well, you ready?
Yeah, man.
Go for it.
Eeny, meeny, miny, go. All right,
for it.
so, boy, not to compare it to the first time we did this, because that was 4 years ago, but I do have memories of it and words that were said, and it's not the same. It's not quite the same as I remember it. That's not good or bad. It's a very enjoyable dram. I think the nose is fun. It's not quite as banana-y to me as it is them. Actually, like I said, it was almost a little bit more of a pumpkin spice or banana peel, if that makes any sense. But I really enjoyed it. It's fun. And the neat palate was good. A little spicier than I expected. I didn't expect to get that, and it kind of overpowered the sherry notes that you're going to get in a little bit for me. Putting the water on it, I think dialed it in right. Maybe I got lucky and just got it right. It's really an enjoyable dram. I think for an 18-year-old at $100, I don't think you're going to get much better than that.
I feel like it's low for some reason. Because
I know. I just feel like it's got. I mean, because I know the Highland Park 18 is $1.50. You know, I mean, we're talking night and day. Now, different whiskeys and all, I get it, but still, for an 18-year-old age statement with Oloroso sherry, I'm a solid 3. I think it's a really, really good dram. I'm glad the bottle's at home. It's been a long time.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I don't know if I would give it a 3 though, and the reason I'm saying that is the nose. I'm just sitting here and I love the nose. I watered it down, and the nose just is really nice. But the palate is fairly unidimensional. It's a little bit too oaky. I don't know if it's too oaky. It's very oaky. It's kind of bitter. It doesn't have a lot of sherry pop or plums or raisins or some of those, that I tend to like more out of the sherries. Probably colored, so I think that may
Gotta
be
be.
coloring our view of what it should be. So I'm going to give it the nose. Really, it's going to bring it up to 2.5 for me.
Okay.
Generally, if it didn't have that real sweet, fresh nose on it, it'd be a 2 at best. But that nose, man, I could just sit here with my nose in the glass and go all night.
Can you go ahead and do that? On the spot?
Andrew's not even drinking anymore.
Sniff all night. Where's Andrew? He's still sniffing back there in the corner. This is a great glass, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go on record and say $100 just to keep it, and that's my number I'm gonna
Yep.
go with. So for $100, this is a fantastic dram for what you're getting for it. I like that it's bold. It's got some, for 43 ABV, you actually get a little bit of wiggle room in there.
Fair
and
point.
and it's unbelievable that you can do that. I think I overwatered mine to here. I put a little drop of back in there, some the neat. Much better. I love the way the blend I have it right now. So I would prefer more heavily on the neat side than with water. Personally, with the water, I had more oakiness. I missed that. Well, the Bananas Foster. I kind of missed that. What I had the neat wasn't so
Yeah.
much there. It wasn't as sweet with the water. So now it's back with a good balance. I really appreciate that. And because I can do that, because I like those flavors, and it has a bit of complexity there, I think it's a really good dram for what you're getting. I'm going to go solid 3 with this bottle. I think it's absolutely worth the price. I mean, honestly, an 18-year-old, $100 and the price you're getting out of it,
Is the flavor worth the price?
take the
number off.
The flavors. Put it this way, I would love to have this by my bar.
Would you spend $100 for it?
Absolutely.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to bring up the rear, so to speak. This one, it's an interesting re-review for me.
Yeah.
And it may be the most interesting one we've done as far as that goes, because it has similarities to what I remember, but it's very different. Like, I think you were talking about it, Mark, initially, that it wasn't what you remember. Right. And it doesn't have that strong banana flavor, and I vividly remember it having a strong banana flavor.
Different.
So I don't know if it's the batch or if it's my palate that has changed. And it could be a little of both. But for me tonight, I liked it neat. I got that nice Bananas Foster, cooked banana, brown sugar, baking spices. It was really nice. The nose was pleasant. With the water, I missed it the first time, and I got a lot of the oak that Drew was talking about. and I lost the banana. The spice came down. It just really kind of unhinged it a little bit. And I think that kind of showed that it was at 43%, although, I mean, it was still a bold glass, and it's surprising how much flavor they had. Normally when I get a 43, I'm like, I wish they would have done this at 50. Just 50, man. 47. I'd even take 47. And this one, when I first tasted it, I was like, you know what? This is actually kind of dialed it in, man.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining at all.
Yeah.
So I think neat, it's a really good glass. With water, maybe you just got to finagle it a little bit more than I was doing, but I just couldn't quite find the right spot. So that kind of brought it down a little bit for me. So I'm going to give it a 2.5. I was in between a 2.5 and a 3. I think I'm going to go with a 2.5 just because it's kind of, with water just didn't hit the mark, and it was a little spicy neat. So, but a damn good glass.
I don't know,
Wow.
I topped it off, and the nose is really good.
So are you going to go up? You go 35?
No, I'm not going to go up to a 3.5, but it just...
I'm
nose is
happy
great.
with my number. I really
I
enjoy
am
this
too.
dram. And it's something I would for sure buy for $100, and it's definitely worth it. And the fact of the matter is, it's a core range. You can go buy it. And
Right.
a lot
You're
of
going to
liquor
find
stores.
it. You know, I don't see it at bars as much as I would expect, but it's definitely at your local liquor store.
Yeah, for sure. I see it at all those.
So would you do 3?
2.5.
3.
2.5.
All right.
2.75.
2.75. it
Easy.
is.
Easy to pick that.
Guys, thanks for watching. We are live every Thursday. We'll see you then, and we'll have this bottle open and ready to talk.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for watching.